You will remember this day when President William Ruto lied to the whole nation that Rigathi Gachagua had to be impeached because he was apparently fighting the so-called small people in government, the likes of Dennis Itumbi and Farouk Kibet.
Mambo matatu yalitokea. Ya kwanza, shida. Kesi. Kila siku kwa kesi. Itumbi amesema, sijui ameandika nini. Sasa tukafanya kesi. Laita Itumbi. Deputy President ameketi hapo, mimi hapa. Wewe Deputy President anasema umefanya. Haya, tunamaliza kesi. Next, baada ya wiki moja, Farouk PA, mtu mdogo, amesema amefanya. Haya, naita Farouk, nafanya kesi. Tukamaliza hiyo kidogo.
Now in less than an hour, former DP Rigathi Gachagua completely exposed the kind of lies that President William Ruto had tabled before journalists and made it very clear that Farouk Kibet is not so small as people think.
He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers through Farouk Kibet. Ministers tremble at his very sight. So, Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. And let me tell you, Rogers, Farouk Kibet was trying to run my office, make appointments for people to come and see me. And initially, I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work. Until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me, and I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you want to give me any instructions, you give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But you cannot use your PA to order me around. And your PA is taking advantage to make money from people. I was telling the president, I'm elected. I'm not going to take instructions from your personal assistant. And I'm not going to allow him to push corruption in my office. If you want him to practice corruption in your office, you can go ahead.
But you just said he was collecting money for people to meet with you.
I learned the few people he had asked me to see. Later on, I heard noise in town that people are going to see the deputy president. Farouk has collected money on his behalf and he is not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. Hii serikali tumetafuta, mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually when I talked to the president about Farouk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Farouk, atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi, akipata hapa kidogo yuko makosa gani?
Now, apart from Farouk Kibet, another cartel that former DP Rigathi Gachagua had exposed is the so-called blogger Dennis Itumbi, who, according to former DP Rigathi Gachagua, is the chief propagandist for President William Ruto.
Okay. When he says that I'm fighting small people, Itumbi. I don't know Itumbi. You can see the things he was writing about me. And Dennis Itumbi is the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Farouk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, like the one DCI has issued about the violence yesterday in Mweki. It's Dennis who crafts them. He crafts the messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small man is that they work in cohort with the president. And he hangs around State House. And if you have a discussion with the president and he doesn't like the way it is going, he sends him a text, and Dennis walks into the president's office and say, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not realized that until I studied, I saw there is a pattern. And any time I had many issues with the president that were not pleasant, I would face him and say, this is not right, this is not good, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure. Somehow Dennis walks in, and I saw a pattern. So one day we were launching, the president was going to sign. He was going to sign the housing levy law, bill into law. And I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, Kenyans are not interested in affordable housing. And people are very unhappy about the taxation. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us look this thing. And please, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground, and Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the deputy president. I was elected with the president here. Who are you to come and interrupt our discussion? Do you know what we are discussing? The president just looked and said, I think we go. Okay? So
now, in a nutshell, and according to former DP Rigathi Gachagua, it is these two gentlemen who are running the government of Kenya. It is Farouk Kibet and blogger Dennis Itumbi. Farouk Kibet is managing the staff. Everybody report directly to him. He is like a co-president. All principal secretaries, permanent secretaries, cabinet secretaries receive instructions from President Ruto through Farouk Kibet. So in essence, he is not a small man as William Ruto had alleged him to be. On the other hand, Dennis Itumbi is also not a small man as Rigathi Gachagua has confirmed to us. Every statement, every declaration that is made by government officials, whether it is by the DCI, whether it is by the National Police Service, Rigathi claims that it is Dennis Itumbi who is writing these statements. Dennis Itumbi, actually, according to Rigathi Gachagua, he has the powers to storm any meeting where the president is attending and just let the president know that his time is up and is getting late for a different meeting. So these two gentlemen are as powerful as the president himself, and this is what Rigathi Gachagua was not comfortable with. So because he speaks his mind, he's a man who speaks his mind, he had to leave because unless you submit to Dennis Itumbi and Farouk Kibet, it can be impossible for you to work with President William Ruto, whether you are the deputy president, whether you are a cabinet secretary, the head of a parastatal, or maybe the head of key security agencies. These two gentlemen apparently are the reasons why cabinet secretaries do not have the freedom to speak their mind. In fact, they cannot advise the president because the president has only two advisors, that is Farouk Kibet and Dennis Itumbi. Anybody who bypasses or has a different opinion from those of William Ruto himself, Farouk Kibet and Dennis Itumbi is scheduled for doom. And we also remember what Rigathi Gachagua had told us, that in the first cabinet of President William Ruto, it's only Rigathi Gachagua who had the abilities, who had the courage to face off President William Ruto and tell him the truth face to face. Let me know what you think about this damning expose by Rigathi Gachagua about Farouk Kibet and blogger Dennis Itumbi, whom William Ruto had referred to as small persons in quotation marks. Do let me know if you think these people are actually small people, and if you think these people are actually powerful as the president himself. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this. I am committed to informing, educating, and entertaining in a manner that mainstream media cannot. If you like my content, please do reach out to me at personal level through the social media links available at the description of my channel. All right, this is all that I had for you in this video. Let us meet up in the video that's coming right after this.